Thank you all for coming today. A quick note, because we have so many speakers, we're just going to put none of them up here. They're all in the front rows here, and they'll come up when it's their time to speak. So I guess I wanted to start by saying that I really love SSP. And by that I mean both this annual meeting, which is a great chance to meet people, see what everybody's up to, stay up to date with the latest developments, and really to learn a lot. So I'm hoping that we can contribute to that here in this session. In addition, when I say SSP, I mean the organization. So it's really a wonderful volunteer-driven organization. And I think this session is a good example. So I'm part of the Early Career Subcommittee, which is part of the Career Development Committee. And we've worked to put together this session. And if anybody's interested in getting involved in an SSP committee, or even just learning about what the committees do, please, I encourage you to attend the lunch tomorrow. It's really just a great opportunity to see what's going on. Inspiration for this session. So actually, a year ago in Boston at the annual meeting, there were two things that got me thinking. The first was that a number of people came up to me. I noticed this pattern where they asked me two questions. The first was, how did you wind up in your current role? And the second was, what on earth is a product manager anyways? And this got me thinking because I realized that I like to ask these two questions about everybody I meet in this industry. It's really fascinating to me to see the journeys that people take into their current roles. And we have a great array of speakers here today who will share their journeys with you. The other moment at SSP 2017 that got me thinking about this was I had a conversation with Amy Brand of the MIT Press. And she was really excited. She said, "Gabe, we just hired a metadata associate." And I thought, well, first of all, that's really cool. Second of all, can we get one of those at our organization? And third, what on earth is a metadata associate? So fortunately, we have that very person here today, so you'll be able to hear from her. A quick question. I'm interested by just a show of hands from the panel, but the audience as well. How many people would consider themselves early career right now? And by that, I'd say first 4 to 5 years. Okay, so it's a pretty good mix. I'd say more than half. In putting this session together, we really wanted to have a discussion that would be of interest to early career professionals, but also to anybody who's interested in exploring what career opportunities are out there in this industry. And the Early Career Subcommittee is really passionate about fostering career development within scholarly publishing, but also to build awareness outside of scholarly publishing of what the roles are and career opportunities in this industry so that it can become a destination rather than more of, say, as it was at least for me, a career that I sort of just stumbled upon. So my goal here today is that everybody in the room, both the audience and the panelists and myself, will leave with at least one idea for a new direction in which they would like to take their own career or their own organization. And the format is pretty simple. We have 13 speakers plus me. They will each spend up to 5 minutes sharing as much as they can about their roles. And then we'll have a Q&A session. So I really encourage you to think of questions and also to hold those questions until the end. Thank you. So I'll go first. My name's Gabriel Harp. I'm Senior Product Manager at CellPress. CellPress is part of Elsevier. We are an imprint that publishes 40 journals in the life and physical sciences. You may hear more about our latest journal launch from Samantha, who will be speaking later. And we also have our colleague Rose from the Elsevier part of the organization who will be speaking. In terms of product management, for me, the core product is the Cell.com publishing platform, where we publish all of our journal content and also build a community around our journals and our brand. In addition, we have an array of products that supplement our core publishing business, so a webinar series, Cell Symposia, conferences, podcasts, and so on. So how I got into this role, it started with a degree in English and German, and I've noticed that we have a lot of English majors among our panelists. That's probably no surprise to people here. After college, I spent a summer plastering the walls of an 18th century farmhouse on an island in Maine, where I live today. Not in the farmhouse, but in Maine. Then I took a role in the financial services industry, and I lasted for 6 weeks, and I got out just before I was in over my head. And realizing that that was not a good fit was probably one of the best decisions I've made. Then I saw an advertisement in a print newspaper, the Boston Globe, for a copy editor role at Cell Press. And I applied and got the job. And copy editing, for me, it was a really valuable foundation because, first of all, it enabled me to really immerse myself in the content that we publish, but it also gave me the opportunity to interact on a daily basis with our authors and our readers. And there was really nothing more rewarding than having an author thank me for helping improve the quality of his or her manuscript and carry it through from that acceptance stage up through publication. I developed an interest in systems and workflows and technologies and innovation, and that eventually led to a transition into our product management team, where I am today. And there, much as with SSP, the people at Cell Press are one of the greatest assets. I really love working with such a range of kind and curious and passionate people, and I should extend this to Elsevier as well, but also beyond. So I think that's one of the things that makes our industry really appealing, is that every organization I've interacted with, the people seem to be kind and curious and passionate and really bright. So I think that's one of the pieces that makes the industry and the SSP organization really strong. I get a lot of satisfaction from the idea of really driving science forward and serving researchers and improving research workflows and outputs. To me, that's sort of the purpose that helps drive me every day. And also learning something new. So I don't really want to sit in that comfort zone. I want to continually build my skills and challenge myself. And so I'd say that's one of the things that I certainly struggle with, is building in the time to actually balance this day-to-day work versus the stepping back from that and continuing to learn and push myself and develop in new areas. I also think that we struggle to move quickly, or I should say as quickly as we need to. So the world around us is changing rapidly, the industry is changing rapidly, and I really want to make sure that our organization can change just as rapidly. Lastly, the part of the excitement of moving into product management at Cell Press is the ability to really work a lot with our colleagues in the broader Elsevier organization and beyond. And that's something that I didn't really have in my previous roles. And that's been really exciting, and I get to meet a lot of really great people. But it's also a challenge to learn how to navigate a sort of a large, multi-level organization and figure out the decision-making channels. But all in all, very rewarding. And I'm out of time.